Just wait a minute. So I know that a lot of you are waiting for my analysis of the Simcat 11 and my take. Uh, so let's do the beautiful analysis of the Simcat 11. So what happened before the Simcat 11? I couldn't give it in the window. I had some personal commitments and there were festive season, so I got busy abruptly. I decided to give it on the Tuesday, but suddenly I got some work. So yeah, so as far as the Simcat 11 is concerned, so the scenario before the mock, I mean, during the window, there were thoughts roaming around the different groups, though it should not be shared, but people share their thoughts. So the thought was like this: Simcat 11, VRC as usual was on the difficult side. This is for the VRC, and DLR was something like no one can crack the DLR, and QA was easy to moderate. That was uh, what I what I have seen or heard during the Saturday Sunday or something like that. But generally, I don't believe those scenarios, because there are 15,000 students, and the student generally which are scoring in the lows are in the majority, and they are the ones who spam the groups with their thoughts, and generally their thoughts are on the similar lines as usual. The point is that never judge a mock from a different person's point of view, because everyone is different, and how you feel something is quite different than how you feel what others are feeling. So for example, today I uploaded Simcat 11 analysis. So for if you haven't watched that live attempt, you can watch and take the learnings that how to handle the quants, especially because in the quants, generally in the first 20 minutes my strategy is to checklist all the 22 questions. But today I don't know what happened. I was out of the mark, or there was some external voices that is disturbing me. Generally I do give the mock at the night, but today when I gave in the afternoon, there was so much noise that I missed the timer, and when the 20 minutes gone, I just was done with the 14 questions, only 14 questions. So you can see that how I handled the quants then. So my score was 15, 35 and 53. This was my score in the DLR and VRC and quant. So let's start the analysis. I will attach the link in the end of the video. You can click that and watch my Simcat 11 live attempt. So Simcat 11, let's start with the VRC. So in the VRC, 4 passages were there: 1, 2, 3, 4. One is of the loan of the students. Let me check what others are, because okay, one is according to the loan. Just wait a second. Okay, good hand. So the other was on the planning and economics. Then there was some psychiatric passage based on the psychiatry and everything, and then there were meat, veg, vegetarians or something like that. So the when you read the loan passage, you would get the whole idea of the passage, that what passage is actually trying to say and everything. And when you do the economics passage, you would get a rough idea. The first and the last passage was somewhat difficult to understand, but still when I read that, I had a belief that I would nail the passage, because generally the questions were based on the main idea or on some specific lines. So it might be the case that you don't need the last passage at all. So psychiatry passages were hard to understand, but I got the general idea that you can't diagnose the psychiatric problem or the psychology problems, and there are difficulties, and you can't just go through the one test and you can test that and everything, something like that. And then meat and egg was also the easy one, that some are saying that this should not be the point of morality, some are saying that they should consider the sufferings and everything. So this was my viewpoint. So you can attempt the 4 passages too, but 3 or 4. But this time I felt that the questions were pretty uh, good in framing the structure and the everything, and the type of questions were also quite relevant to the cat. But as I moved from question to option, I felt personally that the options were not confusing. The options were way out of context, out of, beyond the passage. You need additional thinking or additional inference that is not even mentioned in the passage. So there were a lot of questions in the loan, eco, psychiatric, mostly in the psychiatric, in meat hug too. That so generally what happens that there in the cat, in the other mocks, that there is a one clear cut option, and all will agree to that option post the mock or during the mock. But what happens in Simcat is that there are high chances that at last you will feel that A versus B, and you don't get any reasonable argument to mark A or B. So some persons mark A, some persons mark B. So generally the option, the correct option would be A or B. And for example, if you have marked B and the option is A, so that means you have done something wrong. But post the mock, when you check that A versus B, this is always the case that other two were very out of the context, and these two were confusing. So the confusion is there because the options were directly out of the point, or not in the context to the passages. So some mark A, some mark B, and that's how the things, random things, gets distributed. And VA this time, for the para summary, I would say para summary, the three para summaries I felt very confusing. The complex language plus the big and the complex options make it hard, tricky. PJs were very straightforward, and odd one out is also, this was moderate, this was hard, and this was easy. This is my take on the VRC. So as we move to the DLR, I felt DLR on the easier side. I don't know how people get a problem in such DLR. Chemical, national and international, cards, and cricket, yeah, AP set. So this is 6, this is 6, this is 4, this is 4. So both the sets of the 4 marks were easy, and this was very easy set. And this was, if you say not very easy, but this was the second easiest. This would, so if you chose this one, you should have you should have left this set in the within the first 10 minutes. It's okay to spend this 10 minutes here and leave this set and do the any two sets in the rest 30 minutes. It is completely okay, and one can do these type of things. So I don't think, I don't know why people are saying that one should be very good with the numbers to solve this set and everything else. There is no number concept. There are 6 equations. You must have seen such questions in the Quant also, the sub questions from this part, and most of you are well equipped with the solving of those such questions. And the reason why they give such question, the 6 marker, is that people have a biased that 6 marker set would be very hard, and when they see the graphs, the numbers, the equations, they got very confused, the ratios and the theta questions. So this is the reason they gave this question, but this should not be left at any cost. Now I will come to the AP set. So when this was a set, you would find that the sum would be something, है ना, sum would be something, and this would be in the AP. So let's say this is A minus D, this is A, and this is A plus D. This is match 1, this is match 3, and this is match 2, something like this. So total कितना आ रहा है 3A. That means sum हमेशा क्या होगा 3 का मल्टीपल. तो मिनिमम 13 हो रहा था ना, मिनिमम 13 था, लेकिन हम देख लेंगे 15 या 18 ही आएगा. तो दिस वुड बी द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. जब आप यहाँ से स्टार्ट कर लोगे तो देयर वुड नॉट बी एनीथिंग एल्स, है ना. नाउ वी विल कम टू दिस सेट, द AP सेट, सॉरी द कार्ड सेट. कार्ड सेट में देखो, दिस वॉज द न्यू सेट फॉर एवरीवन. when there is a new set, there is high tendency that you have to understand the things, and you have to implement the things. You have to understand what the game is, and then when you implement the game with the help of questions, you would easily be able to eliminate all the cases, and there would be one single case which would remain, and with the help of that case you can mark all the 4 questions. So, and the chemical set, this was the set which I have done about 70 to 80%. But after the 80%, the 20%, the last 20% is the hardest thing to do. And when I can grab 3 marks per question here and 3 marks per question here, 3 here, 3 here, so equal weightage, so I would eliminate this set from my choice and I would do all the rest of the sets. So this was the game for the DILR. There is nothing much new, and this was the pretty moderate section, not a very difficult section, moderate to easy for some. Except this set, all the sets were easy to moderate. There was nothing new and there was quite doable. So as far as the quant is concerned, it was somewhat greater than equal to moderate, not on the easier side for sure, because there were different types of questions and most of the type of questions seemed very new. But the new questions were there, but when you read the question, when you understand the question would become easiest. Oh, and when you read the question and you cannot do the question, or you fear due to length और familiarity, अगर डर जाओगे कि मैंने familiar है, मैंने देखा नहीं, तो this would be very difficult, very difficult. It's completely depends on how you trust yourself. It is something like that. Some people are there who trust the love, so उनके लिए थोड़ा easy हो जाता है सब कुछ, है ना. There are something who don't trust the love, so the conditions get difficult for them. So it is based on the trust. And so I found nothing new. So let's discuss the bare minimum marks. Okay. So the while attempting the mock, I thought that 28 would be the bare minimum marks here. While I was attempting the mock, I thought 28 would be the bare minimum here. I don't know how the data is, and when it comes to the DILR would be somewhat 25, at least 25. And when it comes to the quant, 30 would be the least. So if I add 28 and 5, 33 and 53 and 83, so okay, so 83 would be the mark. 83 plus would be the bare minimum mark. You should aim for this Simcat 11. Nothing new. If you are scoring less than 83, just first set your target score at 83 for this mock and go with the mock wise. Don't hope to score 83 only in the next Simcat 12. It can be low, it can be high, it can be anything, but overall easy mock. The reason why I'm trusting this mock as easy, because while giving the mock you would not feel much difficulty in either of the sections, neither in the DVRC, neither in the DLR, neither in the QA. And if you felt that difficulty in at least one of the sections, please work on those sections, because according to my view there was no hardest or even moderate section. One can achieve something from each section had a lot of questions, had a lot of varieties, had a lot of very easy and moderate questions. There were nothing as hard. But yeah, if you are the one who judge yourself based on the marks and not on the potential, not on the analysis, then maybe the views would be different. But if you don't see the marks as the only criterion to judge yourself, then obviously this mocks would be the easy to moderate. I hope you would have liked the video, and don't forget to watch the Simcat 11 live attempt which I shared today. And happy and a very nice day. Keep learning, be happy. Thank you.